I'm very happy to have Shyam Agrawal with us today in the Voice of the Young series. Um, let's listen to him. Over to you, Shyam.
All right. Hello, sir. Hello, everyone who's watching us today. Uh, I'm Shyam. I am currently pursuing economics degree from NMIMS Bombay. Whereas apart from just academics, I am very keen learner when it comes to the stuff of philosophy, psychology, other humanities field that involves history, political science, and everything that can be explored. Um, like today, I just wanted to talk more about on how art has been given a backseat when it comes to the pursuits that one can go ahead and go about. So if as a child, as a style, whenever I used to say ki I want to pursue something that is unconventional, just let's like author or like making content or journalism, it would always be looked down upon. There's this beautiful line from the movie Dead Poet Society, which goes like medicine, law, business, engineering. These are all noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are the reasons we stay alive for. And I would like to believe very much in that.
Yeah,
Robin Williams portrays this amazing teacher in that movie. So it's like one of my favorite movies, and it goes like it says go and challenge the norm, challenge the convention that is there,
yeah.
break out of it. And from a young age, I have tried to do that.
Wonderful, wonderful. An economist who knows art, that's a challenge, but I'm glad you are doing it.
That's why maybe like a lot of inclination towards authors like stoic authors like Seneca. Then there's other authors on existential philosophy like John Paul Sartre, Albert Camus. They have all influenced into what I have like what my thoughts have been like. So pursuing economics along with reading these also gave me an understanding of why would people do that. So that's why I'm very inclined towards getting into the public policy like as you have already been so gracefully like involved in it. Like one can just look at your profile and be in awe. So like it's amazing.
But talk about yourself, not me.
Yeah, I'm just like
Please.
yeah. But like yeah, public policy has been one thing that has been interesting me a lot lately because of how the politics, how art, how everything changes into what one can think. Like an individual is not just shaped by what is his first-hand experiences, but as well as the second-hand experiences, the exposure to media, the exposure to other sort of content that they consume.
Okay.
Apart from all of the learning aspects, I am involved in some club activities in my college. Like right now, I'm leading my college's literary club as a vice president. And I've been a member of the Bombay Movie Club, which is a small niche movie club where we just get together, discuss cinema.
Well, let's hear some of the discussion.
All right, sir. So I think the recent discussion we had was about the La La Land and how it has influenced music and jazz in an American way. So there has been a there has been this movie called Rockstar in Bollywood by Imtiaz Ali, which says that you can't be an artist without pain, which I
Mhm.
think is a flawed concept. It's more like how Charles Bukowski is right, how you can't be an artist if it doesn't come pouring out of you. You can't be a writer. He wrote a there's a whole entire poem about it. Uh, then that's all I can believe that pain is not the only catalyst that moves people to perform in art. There are other motives as well. Expressing ourselves, not like pain is just like kind of how do I put it in more moderate terms? It's like a very wildfire emotion. So it's very easy to write about.
Mhm.
But if you can write something that is not your experience, that is something learned, that is something observed, that what I think is a challenge to the artist itself. If you can portray what others are feeling as well. And that's what I liked about La La Land, the movie with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling in it. They portray an entirety of how life unfolds and how we plan something and it ends up happening something else altogether.
Mhm.
Like we are not in controls of our own self. The only thing we can control is our actions. So
Okay.
that also gives me this concept of writing AOC and a like it's AOC, that is area of control, and AOC, that's area out of control. So I
Good.
just write down like whenever I'm having a trouble making a decision. So I just grab my notebook, make two circles, and just put the tasks in it. I can control how much I'm going to study for this subject, but I can't control the grades I'm going to receive. I can control how much I'm going to effort myself in it. I put efforts in it. I can control how I can just control myself, not the outcomes. And so I should like just be satisfied with what is coming because I know I'm going to put up my 100% in what I can control.
Hmm. So, would you say a lot of your learning is outside your classes in the college?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yeah, I would, because I just believe that our college system is very much textbook oriented. We only have to follow something that is already mentioned. It
Yeah.
doesn't give time to critically analyze stuff, critically think and discuss.
Yeah.
Like how they used to have in very old Greek days, they used to have these Socrates dialogue
Yeah.
where the idea was that you only know one thing, that you know nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would
Right.
constantly talk with people and just be like, oh, I don't know, explain it to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be like a mental exercise to themselves.
Yeah.
But what from like high school onwards, what we were supposed to do, that this is your NCRT, read these points, make points of these, and just write that in your exam.
Yeah.
So yeah, that notion never, satisfied me. It never made me content because I'm not gonna pursue marks. I'm pursuing knowledge.
Wow.
I've always been into this thought itself. I'm not after what like the CGPA or that CGPA. I know it matters a lot in long run, but I just like first think if I'm getting the knowledge enough, I can make it worth my
Well,
experience, my knowledge. Yes, sir.
yeah, the CGPA does matter for getting admission into
Yes,
the
sir.
higher degree, but in the job, it doesn't matter. It's your ability to think that matters. It's your ability to create that matters, I think. But anyway, let's listen to you. Tell us more.
Um, so that's what I believe. Are like I don't want to challenge the government right now because I don't want to like divert the conversation in that aspect altogether. But I would just urge that individuals who are pursuing their career just take a step back.
Why don't you challenge the government? Let's hear it.
All right. So I believe that education system is very much on how they used to produce clerks back then. There has been a change with the new education policy of 2024. But what I believe the earlier, I'm like very glad that the new policy is coming, but we as students were not part of this policy earlier. So what we were doing was going into a factory, waking up early, following a routine that was like rigidly strict into our own system, a routine that made us believe that yes, this has to be done, this has to be done at this time. It
Mhm.
was I would like to bring like I used to live in a boarding school for my 11th and 12th, and I made this observation: just opposite to my boarding school was a factory, a workshop basically. So whenever we used to have a lunch break, there was a bell that goes off, and in 5 minutes later I could hear the bell going off in the same factory.
Yeah.
I always used to think, like when I'm tying my shoelaces, I also used to think that we are working, like we are not studying, we are not gaining knowledge, but we are working towards towards consumption of knowledge, not of gaining it, like not being enlightened, but just consumption.
Yeah.
Just we can write it down at
Yeah.
the end of the semester.
Yeah. It's a very profound thought. And I mostly agree with it that what we have is, and it's around the world with some changes, that basically education has become an industrial production, mass production system. And that's the only way that you can keep costs low. And, include everybody is to have like a assembly line procedure. So you get that. So, especially in India and in other such places, but fortunately, as I say, is that since you have industrial production aimed at your consumer is the average student, they spare time for bright students to do something else. Now, your time is not fully consumed by your college classes and you have spare time. That's because you are an elite kind of student. And the courses are aimed at the average student. So you have the time to do what you want to do if you want to do it. So, in a way, that is the saving escape uh, channel. Unfortunately, these days, there's so much available online, internet, that you can do things with your time. Right. So good. So let's continue. What have you been doing? What are your friends saying to you? How does it sit with your group?
All right. So recently I've been so we have this vacation, like my second year got over, so I'm at my home for the vacation. And
Yeah.
I joined this company, financial services company called Motilal Oswal. So I've been doing an internship there. I've been in the business development team right now. And when I told my parents about this, like I wanted to pursue research, they were very curious on what this research is, because it's not very known thing here in my town. So they were like just curious on how public policy is different from UPSC, how research is different from just normal jobs, and
Mm.
how it's not as uh it's not as like it does not provide as handsome salary as other courses. That is like the first thing that pops into someone's mind
Yeah.
when you say, I'm going to pursue research. So I just want to believe that, like, uh money is a big factor that plays into one's life, and you have to even in research, I may agree that the hand sanity might not be as handsome, but over the time it might provide me a joy that the other courses might not provide me.
Yeah.
So when I told my friends about this, I might pursue something like that, and they're like, "Are you sure, Sham? Are you sure you want to pursue that?"
Yeah.
They were themselves confused on why would someone not pursue MBA after the economics degree.
Yeah.
That's the general laid out pattern. You'll either do an MSc in economics, or
Yeah.
you'll either MBA and just get sorted.
Yeah.
So whenever they hear something like public policy or they hear something like research, they are
Yeah.
very intrigued by it.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, okay. Public policy has actually come up in India only in the last 5 or 7 years, not more than that. So it's not a surprise that people don't know what it is because it's new. Anyway, let's hear more from you as to how you're doing in the internship. What does it do for you? Things like that.
the internship I'm doing right now, I believe it's just for my exposure and just keeping myself into how the corporate life functions.
Yeah.
I I believe like I want to get a taste of everything so I can make a right decision for
Hmm.
myself.
Hmm.
So before I step into corporate world, I would like to have a taste of it before I step into it.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this internship, which has given me a quite good understanding of how individualistic corporate lifestyle is.
Okay. But it's remote, right? Because you are in Patna.
Yeah, it's remote, but mostly I have to, like, it's a hybrid. Like when I go Bombay, like go back to Mumbai, I have to work there.
I see. Okay. It's a hybrid. All right.
Yeah. Uh, so it like just gives me a taste on how it's functioning. Right now it's remote, so I don't have a clear observation of it, I would say. But it just, there's still a taste of it, like experience you do gain. on
Yeah.
how people are functioning, like individual separate boats going towards the same destination.
I see. Okay. And are you getting good pay or is it free?
It's an unpaid internship for
The
now.
unpaid
Yeah,
internship. Okay.
because I'm just a second year bachelor student. They
Ah,
generally don't give good pay to them.
okay. All
Uh,
right. It's amazing that a well-known company doesn't pay, but never mind. Uh, it's working for you. Okay. So in terms of public policy, what's your future, you think?
my future, right now, I presume I would have to fight a lot with my parents regarding it to make them explain how this course is a viable course.
Yeah.
And some few Indian colleges such as TIS is offering one services that like one course that is of 20 students, which is where I'm interested in. Apart from that, apparently states and kingdoms like accept 4 year learning courses for masters. Like you have to have a 4 year degree. Uh, but my degree is like for 3 years itself, so that's kind of complication. So for now, that's been the plan, aiming developmental economics mostly under public policy.
Okay. Not looking in Delhi.
Oh, I've been looking in Delhi. That's all through the CUET system, that entire umbrella of CUET.
Okay. Right. And so, I mean, you've been very seriously involved in a lot of activities that are not in the classroom. What advice or tips would you give for people in 11th and 12th? You're still familiar with what that is. You are
Yeah.
not like at a PhD stage. You have not forgotten. So, what advice would you have? What tips?
Uh, the tip is basically I would give is explore. Explore all fields that interests you. Do theater. Do if you don't like theater, do MUNs. Do everything. Get a taste of everything a little bit. If you are not comfortable with arts, practice some band, go to performing arts, and if not, either of them, provide back to your community. Join some community services if you like NGO. You can help and get together with NGOs. There are several like the Yes Foundation, the Cry Foundation. There are several NGOs that you can work. You can raise your own fundraiser. And apart from exploring stuff, be a global citizen. Because lately the consumption we do from the media, especially the teenagers are like they get their news from media, social media, Instagram reels. Those are not the news outlets that you should be going for. There are proper news services provided. Check their biasness and choose the news outlet that suits you the best. And
Hang on.
finally,
Anything else you want to add here?
yeah, I would lastly say don't be scared to break convention.
Uh-huh.
Don't be scared to make your own path. I know it's very cliched when someone says it, make your own way, but
Hmm.
it's more like how you're standing in a Robert Frost crossroads.
Yeah.
A road that is less travel will make the difference.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to add here?
Nothing else. Nothing of
Okay. All right. Then I think we can end this recording here now.
yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let's do that. And I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then.